The yield curve inverted again, but investors not excited at all. The stock market moving higher on the day. The Dow up 258 points, the S&P 500 gaining 19, the Nasdaq up 30. Just 2 weeks ago, much, if not most, of the leftist media and the business press panicking over the inversion of the yield curve and using it to fuel their narrative of an impending recession, often forgetting to note that it usually takes almost 2 years before a recession sets in after an inversion. Well, joining us tonight, Peter Navarro, Assistant to the President, Director of Trade and Industrial Policy, Director of the White House National Trade Council. Great to have you with us, Peter. Let's start with the yield curve inverted again, actually, to a greater degree than 2 weeks ago, and investors dismissing it. I read that as a president who has greater credibility than the business press, who were, well, their hair was on fire 2 weeks ago.
Well, let's look at the yield curve first, Lou. The yield curve is inverting because of very bullish circumstances. Basically, this is the best game in town across the globe. And so we've got money flowing into the bond market that's pushing up prices, pushing down yields. And then on the other end, the short end, Lou, of course, we know we got the Jay Powell problem where they're not lowering rates fast enough. But let me give you my 60-second bullish forecast.
Can you make it 30? Sure. Because we're already a minute in.
30 seconds. Trump, 4 pillars of growth: tax cuts, deregulation, unleashing the energy sector, tough trade reforms. The way we get from 2% growth to 3% growth: Fed cuts rates, European Central Bank cuts rates, Germany engages in a fiscal stimulus, and we get China engaging in a fiscal stimulus. It's all good. That's the key. And then finally, the icing on this cake here, USMCA, that gets us a point of growth and over 100,000 jobs.
USMCA. That sounds a lot like a trade agreement with Mexico and Canada.
You know what's interesting here? Let's think about what this president has done.
Can I do this? I know that you're on a roll, and I hate to interrupt, but we need to understand the underlying motivation today, as at least reported by the business press, and that is optimism about a China-U.S. trade agreement. Is it misplaced, that optimism, or is it well-placed?
I think what the market was responding to is just the reality of all these good things happening in terms of what the Trump economy is doing. Yes, sir.
Peter, let me try this again. I know that you love to follow your spin up here. But
I would say it's optimism. I'm not sure whether it's misplaced because, as you know, Lou, all negotiations take place behind closed doors. And my advice
no
has
one would
always
close
been,
a door on Peter Navarro
that.
For crying out loud. We won't buy that.
So what's your precise question here? And I'll try to answer.
My precise question is such optimism misplaced or well-placed?
I think probably somewhere in the middle there not to put. Look, you know we have serious structural problems with the Chinese, but we also know the Chinese are coming here in September to talk about them. So let's see if we can work through that. I can tell you that it's unlikely anything quick will happen, given the structural basis of the problems. You know what they are, Lou. It's stealing our stuff and killing Americans with fentanyl and everything in between. But for me, looking at the economy,
they're not a nice bunch, are they?
Well, I think they have a reputation going back to 1949 of never fulfilling any of their commitments. And then going back to 2001, breaking every rule in the World Trade Organization book to take over 70,000 of our factories and 5 million of our manufacturing jobs. And I think America has finally realized that's exactly who China is, and they're supporting President Donald J. Trump in taking tough action. So let's see what happens.
I don't think there's any doubt about that support and its understated power in the left-wing media. What I do find fascinating is I don't hear a lot of blather from Wall Street anymore. I don't hear a lot of blather from the Chamber of Horrors or Commerce or the Business Roundtable about free trade. The president seems to have made it very clear that there's been nothing free about free trade for the last 4 decades, and that balanced trade is the future. And as the leader of the free world, He is persuading first the G7 and the rest of Western civilization, certainly, that this is a new dawn. What do you think?
Yeah, it's fair, balanced, and reciprocal trade, and Europe is getting on board that. I think Europe views China just as we do, as a country that is violating all the rules and threatening the international ability to have a decent trading system. So let's see what happens. But in the meantime, I think in the next month or two, we need the Fed to do its job to cut rates. European Central Bank cutting rates will help us as well. It's really interesting.
Let me make a forecast, Peter.
Sure.
And that is that the Fed will cut rates. Jerome Powell has had he's been tutored. He is now more experienced and leavened by events. There is no way in the world he would not cut rates, and I'll bet you any amount of money on that one.
Well, let's make sure he's playing chess, not checkers.
I can't make sure of anything, and if you're not going to take my bet, I've got to quickly go on to the rest of the show.
You want to put money down on that? All right.
Okay. Peter Navarro.
Let's have the bet. I bet he goes 50 basis points. You take the 25, and let's see what we got. How's that?
You got it. I like the direction.